I interviewed Brittany Renner recently. She was on the Jason Lee Show live.
By the way, this came up on the reunion.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You came up.
my name?
That
I want to check, Shawnee.
That interview, it ended, and I know I can't give too much of the reunion away because we just filmed it 2 weeks ago, but that interview, it did come up.
Oh, in a good way?
Yeah, it was it wasn't in a bad way.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't in a bad way.
So she was talking about the cast, and she had a lot of opinions, but she didn't really drop a lot of names. What was your relationship with her on the show?
So my relationship with her, I did see clips of that interview, and I was very surprised.
Why?
Because I feel like she wasn't being really truthful. And my relationship with her when she started the show, I was excited when Brittany did the show. I was like, you know what? I've been following her on Instagram. I think she's funny as fuck. I think she's beautiful. I think she's very opinionated. Cool, let's do this. Let's bring her to the show. I know part of the reason why they ended up casting her was, obviously she has a huge following, the connection to, the baby daddy, but also they wanted to, tell her story, like who is Brittany Renner, right? Like we only know about like these viral moments and a book, but who is she? And I was like, okay, cool. So met her and, I felt like we hit it off. Even when we weren't shooting the show, I would leave her a voice note like, hey, I know you're away from your son if you want to like go hiking. Cause I wanted the experience to be amazing for her. It's hard filming a reality show. This is your first time doing this shit. You're like, okay, y'all bitches are crazy because one day you're arguing and then the next day you guys are having a lunch and everybody is like friends again, right? So I think for her it was kind of difficult, kind of navigating through that a little bit, like, y'all, what the fuck is going on, right? But it's like you're speeding through your emotions because you're filming a show, right? So you need to have closure and you need to like, granted, you're not forced to do certain things, but I think it was hard for her, but she kind of talked shit about everybody without naming everyone. And it was, when we first started shooting the show.
Because I think she referred to the show as them bitches or something. Like it was a wide cast net of what she was talking about because she didn't say specific names.
Yeah. The first drink that was thrown, she threw it. It didn't air because she was having an issue with Jackie's friend. For whatever reason that didn't air, they ended up having to pick her up, no shoes, getting her out of there.
Brittany?
Yes, this was in the beginning of shooting at my party. So I remember thinking, okay, shit, is this what we're gonna do this season? Because every season is like, hey, we're trying to elevate it. I'm like, cool, let's do it. I want to do this. And then you bring people in that are like still on the old program and want to have like these moments. I don't want to have moments. I want to be the auntie sitting in the corner, maybe commentating about the bullshit you bitches got going on. I don't want to argue with anybody. But, Vanessa came in with her bullshit. I'm like, okay, here we go. That same day, she got taken out with like no shoes on because she had thrown this drink at Jackie's friend. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Was this the first scene?
This was like the first week we're shooting.
But did she have beef with the girl before, or did she come in feeling like the expectation is, I gotta just pop off?
I think she came in maybe with the expectations like she needed to pop off. And Jackie was a little like, okay, what is going on or whatever. So then that happened. Then moving forward, the second drink that was thrown at Brooke.
From Brittany?
Yes, that aired on the show.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting for me to see her side of it because we initially were like, let's tell her story. Like, we're excited for her to be here. And then, bombs are going off and we're like, okay, hold on. So you have Vanessa with the bullshit with me. She had thrown 2 drinks. And then you have Iguodala's baby mama, Clayana, came in. She had beef with Jennifer. She pushed Jennifer in the scene. So the OGs are like, what the fuck is happening?
And so Brittany on my show referred to you all as the mean girls.
Yeah.
Who was being mean to her?
No one.
So was she doing it to get reality show clout? Because she already had social clout, but was it like to get clout within the show? Was it to get camera time? What was the...
I don't know. I listen, throughout the whole season, like I was still, even with the situation with her and Brooke after that drink throwing, it was hard for me to kind of have a neutral stance because I'm really cool with her. I'm really cool with her brother is my neighbor. Our kids are best friends. So there's like a real life, relationship there. So I was like, fuck, how do I continue filming the show? She threw this drink at Brooke. Brooke really wanted to beat her ass. Like for outside of the show, she was like, I'm going to beat her ass. So, it became bigger than just that scene. And I'm like, okay, let me take my feelings out of it because it really has nothing to do with me and continue to kind of just be cool because I genuinely liked Brittany at the time. Once she ended up leaving the show, she unfollowed us. And I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. It's interesting.
Wait, she left the show early?
Yeah, she stopped filming early. She basically had checked out. She didn't, she said it was just like too much. And I have never had in the history of doing this show, there's still a level of professionalism that you still need to have. So if you have confessional interviews, they schedule those. And sometimes she just wouldn't show up. We've had scenes, it could be me, her, and Shawnee. The scene had turned from her coming to maybe a FaceTime because she just wouldn't show up. So it was becoming a little difficult because, she just was slowly checking out as time went on. And I mean, according to her, the experience wasn't that great. And I get it. Doing the show could be crazy. But, I always have my eye on the prize. But to say that, people, no one got into it with her other than her and Brooke.
So was she at the reunion?
Mm-hmm.
She was. So she did come back for that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when she calls you all the mean girls, I know back in the day when Brandy was in the show, her and Shawnee had the moment where she was like, if you're going to be the EP and be in the show, she tried to say basically she was being bullied as a new cast member. Is that something where the new Gs or the people feel like the vets are bullying them or they don't have the same level playing field as the vets? Is that a feeling that the new people have?
I don't know. I feel like we were welcoming. I feel like we tried to get into your stories to tell like who you are, people get to know you a little bit more other than the viral moments or who your baby daddy is. And, she just felt like she didn't have a good experience. And I don't know, but to say that we treated her mean, it's like, where? I was kind to you. Giselle, who's with the WNBA player, they had a great relationship. She unfollowed her on social media when the show was done. Her and Jackie never really got into it. The Brooke and her, they ended up hashing it out, and then things were like cool. And then Jennifer and her barely filmed. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't understand when you guys did the interview. I was kind of like, that's so interesting. I know there was a lot of drama going on, but no one treated you poorly. So she wasn't being honest.